guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a little sit down video and do a Q&A about university, because I have been at the University of Leeds doing business management for 6 weeks now, which actually doesn't sound like a long amount of time, but it feels like I've been here for ages, and a lot of you always ask me questions, so I thought I would do a proper Q&A, because obviously I've done vlogs and all of that, but I haven't really properly talked about university yet, so that is what I'm hopefully going to do in this video. Please excuse my appearance as well. I got drenched walking home from a lecture and I don't really have time to sort myself out because I then need to go to another lecture in a few hours time, so we're just gonna have to deal with this. So I asked you for questions on Instagram, so if you ever have any questions and I put a thing up asking for them, then make sure to follow me on Instagram, because that is where I always ask is, how are you finding Leeds as a city and as a uni campus? Has it lived up to your expectations? I absolutely love Leeds. I love the city, I love the campus, so yes, it has very much lived up to my expectations. I knew that I'd like it. That's why I put it as my first choice. When I came here on the open day and I went around the city and I went around the campus, I was just like, this is for me. Like, I just love this city, especially coming from Nottingham. I feel like Leeds is a bigger and better Nottingham. Slightly controversial opinion, but no, I just loved it here. I could totally see myself living here, which is something you should definitely get a feeling for when you visit places on open days. I went to other places and I just couldn't really see myself living there, whereas here I was like, yes, I love the city, I can see myself in the city, and I love the campus and I can see myself studying there. So yeah, I love it here and it's definitely lived up to my expectations. Next question is, what's it like living in a city you don't really know that well? It's quite daunting at first. I mean, I don't know, I don't find it that daunting, but that's because I come from a big city anyway, so I'm very used to city living. So I don't find it that daunting, but yeah, not knowing your way around can be quite intimidating, especially in the first couple of weeks, but honestly, Google Maps will be your lifesaver. There's nothing really to stress about, because if you ever need to get anywhere, type it into Google Maps and it'll take you straight there. And also, even after a few weeks, you really start to get the hang of it and know your way around. Just like pay attention while you're walking with people, and before you know it, you will know your way around, because it's really not as complicated as people seem to think it is. But yeah, I really like the fact that I'm in a new city. I find it so exciting because there's so many places I haven't been before, so many like new things to experience. But yeah, I can't actually remember what the question was now, but no, I love living here. Are you glad you moved away for uni? Yes, I am glad. As much as both Uni of Nottingham and Nottingham Trent are amazing universities, and I think I definitely would have considered Uni of Nottingham if I hadn't already lived in Nottingham, I'm so glad that I moved away for university. I knew from the get-go that I wanted to move away. I didn't even bother applying to anything in Nottingham because I just wanted to move. Not because I particularly wanted to like get away from like my family or anything, like not that at all. Just because I wanted a change of scenery. I've lived in Nottingham my entire life, and as much as like it is a big city, I was just bored of it. I couldn't imagine for another 3 or 4 years being in the same city, like knowing all the streets, knowing where everything is, doing the same things. Like, I just couldn't imagine it. I wanted a change, so I moved away. Leeds isn't even that far from Nottingham, so I haven't moved far basically. It's not like I've gone to like Edinburgh or somewhere. I'm literally an hour and a half away on the train. So next question is, are you finding how much work you get difficult? Yes. Oh my god, right. Whoever says that the first year of uni is easier than A-levels is lying, or is not doing all the work they should be doing, or just doesn't go to this uni. But there is so much work. You basically have to work all the time. Like, anytime you have a spare few hours, you really need to be doing work. Obviously you should have time off to eat and like do things with your friends, but other than that, hours in the day, like between lectures, you need to be doing work, because oh my god, there is just so much of it. And I am finding it quite difficult. Like, as much as I love my course, the workload and the modules are difficult. This is probably different if you've already done the subject at A-level, but for me, I have never studied business before, so I'm literally starting everything from scratch, and the workload is quite difficult in that sense, especially because I get so frustrated if I can't do something first time. I'm so bad for it. It's just learning like everything from scratch. Like, I've never done economics, I've never done accounting, I've never done organizational behavior. I've literally never studied anything that I'm doing right now, and it's not even like any of my A-levels apply, because I literally did completely different A-levels. So I'm finding the workload hard, but it's always manageable. You just have to manage your time well, manage your deadlines, just be self-disciplined really. Next question is, have you joined any societies at university? Yes, I've joined quite a few. So I've joined the Business School Society, which I really like. I went to a Halloween social for that the other week. I have joined Art Society, but I still haven't managed to go to anything just because the life drawing sessions are on a Tuesday, and I always just seem to have something going on a Tuesday evening, so I never managed to go. But I'm part of Yoga Society, so I go to yoga at least once a week. I try to go twice, so that's probably the one that I'm like most actively part of, but I haven't been to any socials or anything for that. I'm part of the society because then I get cheaper class rates. And then I'm also part of Women in Leadership Society too, and also possibly part of Cocktail Society. I just joined loads in freshers, and especially ones like Cocktail Society had free memberships. I was like, meh, I'll just join them. But I haven't gone to anything for that so far. But yeah, I think those are the 5 that I'm part of. Next question is, what is the typical workload you're getting at the moment? So it depends, because lots of my seminars are on a 2-week rota, so I will have them one week but then not have them the next week. So basically, one week I'll have loads of work to do and the next week I won't have as much. Thankfully this week is the one where I don't have as much, but typical workload is reading every week. So you normally have to read the chapters that correspond to your lectures, and then also you have to do seminar preparation. So say for like economics, we need to do the textbook reading, and then also answer some questions before the seminar. For my other ones that are more theoretical, like business and society, we just have to do loads of reading for that, but normally also answer questions, because everything you do beforehand, all the work that you do before a seminar, is what is discussed in the seminar. So most of the work is normally for seminars, but I've actually got quite a few deadlines coming up as well. So at the moment I'm having to do essay preparation, essay reading. So the typical workload, I don't really know how to even describe it. It's basically something for all of your modules. Some like don't set as much work as others, so economics doesn't have as much work as accounting. But yeah, typical workload is a lot basically. But once again, as long as you manage it, it's fine. Next question is, how easy was it to settle in? So I don't really know, to be honest. So I'd say I don't know, like it was quite easy at the start, although you weren't really settled at the start. But like in freshers, in the first couple of weeks, you literally were like non-stop, so it was almost easy to settle in that sense, because you didn't really have any time to think about it. You just were doing stuff all the time. But yeah, I think it definitely took a few weeks, especially for me, to develop a routine. I cannot function without a routine really, so it took a few weeks for me to like build that up, and I still haven't really like perfected it or anything. I still feel like I haven't fully settled, if that makes sense. I think I mostly am settled now, but I'd say it was like easy in a sense, but also not easy, just because of how fast-paced freshers and the first few weeks are. You don't really have time to settle, you almost just have to do stuff, and you don't really stop. That really didn't answer the question, did it? Next question sort of corresponds to that, and it says, have you been getting homesick? So yes and no. Obviously I miss my family, but we talk pretty much all the time. I've seen them, they've come up to Leeds since. I'm going back home in a couple of weekends. More what I miss is sort of like the home comforts, if that makes sense. Like the fact that someone always cooked dinner for you, someone did your laundry, and now you have to do all of that yourself and it's not so fun. So I sort of like missed that, but also at the same time I quite like doing everything independently. I've always been a quite independent person, so the jump in that sense wasn't a lot for me. Quite a few other people asked how it was now living on my own, living independently, and I actually quite enjoy it. But sometimes when you get back and you've had a full day of uni and you've had a stressful day and you need to do more work in the evening, it would just be so nice if just dinner was like ready for you, but it doesn't work like that. The next question is, do you enjoy studying business management? So I feel like I've almost already touched on this, but yes, I am enjoying my course. I've had a few comments on the vlogs being like, I really don't think she's enjoying this. Yes, I am. It's just a big leap for me. As I've said, I've never studied business before. The only business that I've done is the very sort of practical side of business where I'm registered as self-employed. I have to do self-employed business things. Apart from that, I haven't done anything before, so for me, I am learning everything from scratch, and I find that quite stressful. Even at A-levels, I'd done biology before, I'd done English before, I'd done history before, I had a foundation in them. I am literally starting from scratch here, and that's why it's difficult. I do enjoy it, but it's difficult. But no, I am actually really liking my course. I like some aspects of it better than others, so I really quite like the theoretical side of it, like organisational behaviour. I like business and society. Economics and accounting, I won't lie, I am not enjoying. Economics isn't so bad. Accounting and finance, on the other hand, is the bane of my life. I really do not enjoy it at all. I feel like I'll enjoy it once it clicks and once I actually get it, but at the moment I am just struggling with it and therefore not really enjoying it. But overall, I really do like my course. Next question is, have you and other people made solid friends yet? And there was another question that sort of linked to that, and where is it? Oh yeah, it was, are there obvious friendship groups emerging? So one thing that I actually really was surprised about at university is how quickly groups were formed. It was literally by like week 2, people seemed to be in friendship groups already, which really surprised me, because I thought, especially for the first like at least a month of university, I thought everyone would just be sort of like floating, talking to anyone. But yeah, I have made some solid friends. I love my flatmates to death, and I've made a lot of solid friends on my course as well, and so have other people. And yeah, there are quite obvious like friendship groups, but I think not in a like a cliquey way. Everyone is still so nice to each other, and like I've met so many lovely people, and I still meet new people every day. Like I met a lovely girl earlier just before my accounting lecture, so everyone's still like socializing, but it just shocked me like how quickly people manage to form groups. I don't really know if I am in a group or not, because I sort of like float in between people. Like whoever I see, I'll just like sit with if I know them. But no, people, I've made some really nice friends here, and so have my other friends, so have my flatmates. But yeah, sort of links on from that. Next question is, do you like your flatmates? I technically answered that in the last question, but yes, I absolutely love my flatmates. I love our flat. I don't know if I've ever said this, but I live in a flat of 4, so I live with 3 other girls, Bethan, Megan and Akari, and no, I love them. It's a great flat to live in. Next question is, do you find it easy to juggle nights out and academics? My most productive weeks are always when I don't go on any nights out. So for example, this week, I don't think I'm going on any nights out, which is actually quite rare. This is the first week where I haven't had any plans to go out on a night out. I've got other plans during the week, but they're just not going out plans. And honestly, I'm just so much more productive, because the thing is with nights out, you get back late, and like even if you're not hungover the next day, you just are so tired, because I don't really get that hungover, because I do drink, but I'll never drink excessively to the point where I feel like death the next day. I've never had that. I'm just tired, and because you're tired, you just don't really want to do anything. You'll get up later, and it just sort of like wipes the whole day out in that sense. So no, I'm so much more productive when I don't go out, but I think it is something that I need to learn to juggle, because I know that I can't really go on throughout the year doing one and not the other, like going on a night out and then not doing work, or doing work and not going on a night out. That's something I need to work on, if that makes sense. But I don't know, it's hard to juggle, but like you do it, if that makes sense. You just get on with it. How is sharing a kitchen with a group of people? So as I said, I love my flat, and as a result I think it's absolutely fine. I have no problem sharing a kitchen. We never have any problems. A lot of people asking me if people steal my food actually, and no one will take my food without my permission. Obviously I will happily lend my flatmates my food, but they've always asked, and it's same vice versa. But yeah, I love sharing a kitchen. We're all quite clean as well, so it never really gets dirty. We do our part washing up, so it's an ideal kitchen situation, especially compared to some of the situations I have seen and heard about. Next question is, what do you normally do at the weekend? So it varies, but so far on the Saturday that will sort of be like my day off, so I will see my friends, I'll see family, people will come up from Nottingham to visit me. So Saturday is normally like my sociable day, and then Sunday we do library Sundays. That's what me and Megan, my flatmate, call it. So every Sunday, well, I think we've done it every Sunday but one so far, we would just go to the library and just bang out loads of work. So for example, this Sunday we were in there pretty much all day. I think I go there at about 10 and we leave about 4, 5, I don't know, I can't remember what time we left, but then we come back. And then this Sunday we went to Wagamama's for dinner, so it's a mix of like socialising and work, but it depends if I'm actually here. So sometimes it gets thrown off a little bit. For example, I went to Oxford a few weeks back. I'm going to Liverpool, not this weekend, next weekend, then I'm going home the weekend after that. So it varies, but like my typical routine will be something like that. Next question is, any uni romances? No, not really. That's been a bit of an interesting one, and I'm not really going to get into that. Next question is, should you buy a freshers wristband? I don't really know the correct answer to this. I personally didn't, because I found my flatmates Bethan and Megan on Facebook, and we were in a chat and we were just sort of talking about it, and we decided against it. We did buy some tickets for various nights before we got here, but on the whole we just decided that we'd get here and buy stuff as and when we wanted to go, if that makes sense, and that worked out perfectly fine for us. We went out, to be fair, we didn't go out that much during freshers in comparison to others, but I think we went out on about 5 nights out in like the space of a week, if that makes sense, so which is quite a lot, to be fair. But we didn't get a wristband, we just sort of went where other people were going that we'd met, if that makes sense. So we got invited to a few prees and we just sort of ended up going where they were going, and most of the time you can normally buy tickets on the day, on the door, or you can buy them online in advance. So I don't know, I think freshers wristbands, like they seem like a good idea, but I see how they could be quite restricting, because that wristband might permit you to go to a certain club night, but when you get to uni everyone might be going to a different club night that night, so you might not then want to go to the one that you're going to because no one's going to it. I don't know, I don't really know the correct answer to that, but I don't think you need one. But then if your whole flat is getting a freshers wristband, then I'd say yes, but I don't think it's necessary. Next question is, what are your go-to uni meals? So me and Megan actually do quite a lot of cooking together, so we're cooking chili con carne tonight, so that's definitely a go-to for us. Spag bowl is just a typical go-to. Curry is a go-to. What else do? I do quite a lot of chicken Kievs, which is such a weird thing. Like jacket potatoes, things like that, but always with frozen vegetables or just fresh vegetables. I always try and eat as much veg as I can at uni because I know that I need to. So yeah, I think those are probably my go-to, and then like oven pizza when you're being lazy, just things like that. Okay, next question is, what is the drinking culture really like? Are there many people that don't drink / go on nights out? So I can obviously only speak for Leeds here because that's the only place I've experienced university, but I don't know, I think there probably is quite a big drinking culture here, but not as much as I expected it to be. Freshers, it was actually quite chill in comparison to what I thought it would be. I don't know, here you very much do what you want to do. There isn't really any pressure for you to do anything. Like, my flatmates have been on nights out without me and I haven't wanted to go, and there's no pressure for me to go, and like vice versa, I've gone out without them when they haven't wanted to go. And with drinking as well, you really, like, I don't know, you just do as much as you want to do. So like I said, I don't really get hammered ever. Like, I'll get drunk, but I won't drink excessively, and there is no judgment. There's also no judgment if you don't want to drink at all. I've been on nights out pretty much sober before. So I don't know, the drinking culture is like what you make of it. And also surround yourself with people that have the sort of same mindset as you do. So if you're not a heavy drinker, maybe don't associate yourself with like loads of heavy drinkers, if that makes sense, because that's where pressure stems from, if you just have very different mindsets and very different approaches. But I don't know, I've still met people that do sort of like drink more excessively and do stuff but there's no pressure for you to do that. Like, I haven't experienced any of that. So okay, the last question is from my neighbour in the flat next door, and it is, do you like your neighbours? Yes, I love our neighbours. Our neighbours are the cutest people ever, and I love seeing them around and chatting to them. So yes, I love our flat neighbours. Okay, so this video has turned out to be very long, I think, so I'm gonna cut it here. I feel like there's still so many questions I could have... Oh, police siren, lovely. So I feel like there's so many more questions that I can answer, so if you want me to do a part 2 or like a specific Q&A, or maybe specifically my course or specifically Leeds or specifically freshers, then let me know and I'll be happy to do that for you, because I understand perfectly. Like last year when I was in year 13, I also had so many questions about university. So yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe and follow my social media, which will be linked down below in the description. Bye guys.